Gentlemen, welcome to another install video. This time, hopefully with sound. Maybe I have some elevator music in the background. And before you know it, I'm going to be a Hollywood production. So fingers crossed if there's background music. If not, I failed. But anyways, it's another install video. This time we're going to do something pretty simple, and that's just installing titanium fasteners for the underbody, the rear section. So it's going to be what holds up the diffuser mostly. Let me see if we can get a picture of some of that. So basically those rusty fasteners, and that's the reason why most people replace them. Some people do stainless, some people do titanium. I went with titanium because I'm a weight weenie. But there's, as simple as it sounds, there is, decent amount of misinformation out there as far as the length, as far as the quantity, that kind of stuff. So the purpose of this video is, it's going to be relatively short because it's a simple task. But basically we're going to go over the lengths of each bolts, the type of bolts, the sources, and even the torque specs that Nissan calls for those bolts. So if you're interested in doing either stainless, it doesn't have to be titanium, you'll probably find this short video pretty useful. So stay tuned. All right, so testing out the tripod that I just got for the camera. It's just for these videos because, I aim to be like Steven Spielberg eventually with these Hollywood productions. So if you like the quality you're seeing, give me a thumbs up. But here we are, we're going to discuss fasteners for a second. I mean, there's quite a bit to discuss. If you see my previous video with installing the seats, I used the hardware that I bought as a kit with the seats, and those were steel fasteners, so I was going to replace those with titanium, and according to my calculations it ended up being about half a pound that I saved with doing the titanium. With this rear diffuser, I'll do the math. We'll weigh it on my weed scale here, but I'm guessing it's going to be around half a pound for all of the screws. So for the people that think that it's going to save you 5-10 pounds, let's be realistic here. But we'll put the bolts on the scale and see what they weigh, and then we'll do the math and figure out exactly how much we save. So when I ordered these ones for the seats, I was like, well, let me do the rear diffuser, and I'm going to do another video of the front diffuser. And there was a decent amount of misinformation on the lengths, this and that, the amount of them that I need. So I just basically took the calipers and went underneath the car and figured out exactly how many I need. And so you'll see that some people will say 20 millimeters for the stock screws. These are the screws, 2 of the screws I pulled for this demonstration. But as you can see that they have a nose to them, so it's not threaded. It's just to keep from cross threading, I guess, in the factory when they're installing these like by the second, so they don't cross thread them. Don't need to worry about that, so we could cut off some length, which would save some pounds. But I measured, I could see through the diffuser kind of grill area how much thread is protruding out of the threads, and it's at least 2 millimeters. So I went with 16 millimeters, and that's going to be more than sufficient. If you can find 14 millimeter long screws, that'll be perfectly fine. But for the M6s as well as the M8s, they're going to be 16 millimeters in length. The pitch on the M6s is 1.0. The pitch on the M8 is 1.25. So M8 1.25 times 16 millimeters, and M6 by 1.0 times 16 millimeters. And so quantity, you know, some people say get about 30, get, you know, this and that. You need 19 of these. It seems like an odd number, but it is it is an odd number. So you need 19 of those, and then you need 12 of the M6s. So 19 M8s, 12 M6s for the rear diffuser, as well as, I guess, underneath the exhaust tips, there's a piece that has some more of these. So if you're gonna do the diffuser, then you're gonna need those as well. There's 6 total for those ones. So as far as weight, all right, so actually, where did I get the ones that I found? So those ones for the seats I got from Amazon, and they took a bit to get in there. Wayne, I don't even know what that is. They're from China, but I'm sure all of these are from China. But online, I went with Z-Spec Design, and they had the best prices. They had the best selection. I liked the style of the bolts, and it was pretty easy to use. And as far as the website goes, and they arrived like in like 2-3 days, nicely packaged. Everything. I couldn't ask for more from a company. I didn't know what, you know, I've never dealt with them before. But they arrived in like 3 days, and they arrived several days before those Amazon ones came in, and I ordered the Amazon ones like 2 days before I ordered these. So when I got these the other day, so I ordered them. I was originally going to do black fasteners, just because like my build is kind of discreet. I know, you know, on the forums, you know, a gentleman by the name of Tay, he's going to clown me for it, but I kind of went against my build of being discreet and went with the rainbow colored burnt titanium option. So originally I opted for black, and they didn't have all of them in stock. I could have got like 90% of them, and then I would have had to change colors on the last few. So I was like, that's not gonna fly. So I had the option of silver ones, which would have been a great replacement for the stock zinc steel ones. It would have been kind of basically the same look. They had quantities in those, and then obviously the burnt ones that most people like want the burnt ones. But I wanted, my build is kind of discreet, so it's just kind of clean and discreet. But you know, Tay, I make an exception to this. Just because you can't see these are underneath the car. And so when I was looking at the aluminum ones, or not aluminum, the natural colored titanium ones, I was like, you know, people are going to mistake them for aluminum. Who knows, like if I sell the car, or if somebody's underneath it other than me, and I wanted them to know that they're titanium. So that's the justification that I gave myself, going with the burnt, you know, kind of rainbow colored variants, just so it's like, hey, don't replace me with stock steel crap. I'm a titanium bolt. So that's my justification. I'm sticking to it. If it drives me crazy, I'm gonna go with black ones when they become available, and then I'll gift these to one of you guys that like this video. So let's talk about weight. So let me get my weed scale here. I brushed off all the remnants, so it should be pretty spot on. So if we look at the M6, this is the stock M6. You can tell it's pretty rusty. And this car is from Tennessee. I bought it secondhand, and it's like Tennessee, like 50 miles north of here. So it's, I couldn't imagine what it is, you know, for cars in like the north. Let me see if I can open these. So we got, no, let's do grams. So 7 grams. That's including the washer. I guess I should have opened this stuff first. Everything's individually bagged. I'm impressed with Z-Spec design. It's like each little thing is and they had great prices. I couldn't be happier with Z-Spec. I'm gonna go with them like from now on. So we got 7 grams, and that has the washer kind of attached to the bolt. So let's do the washer, and this guy, 4 grams. So that kind of is expected. I think titanium is about 60% the mass of steel. So let's do the M8. So we're 14. Let's do these little baggies. I'm going to use them for my weed scale once I remove. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't smoke weed. So 9. So, or 8. 8 over 14. All right, so 8 over 14. So I'm not Rain Man. I can't figure out exactly how much that is times 19, you know, 8s and 12 times M6s. I don't know. I'm not that good. But up here, I'm going to put what that's supposed to be, and then that's how much we dropped weight off the car. And so it's not going to be like 5-10 pounds. We've got to be realistic here. But you know, one of the main purposes is no corrosion. And so I did it for no corrosion as well as lightweight. I mean, if it saves half a pound, you know, you keep doing half a pound here, half a pound there. I'm going to do like 10 pounds of titanium before I'm done on this car. I mean, it's going to cost a butt ton, but I don't know. Maybe Z-Spec will sponsor me. Who knows? Maybe they'll give me a discount. But even if they don't, I'm going to spend the coin to drop 10 pounds. This is going to be like every nut and bolt in titanium on this car. So with that, let's see. I'm going to lift the car up and get to that portion of the video, so stay tuned. All right, so we got the car up on the ramps, and just as a FYI, you know, I didn't drive this thing on the ramps. I basically just jacked it up with the ramps underneath it. It's basically like a cradle, using them as a cradle. I don't trust myself by myself, kind of going in reverse up these ramps. You know, I think, you know, reverse is a pretty tall gear. It's like somewhere in between like first and second as far as the ratio goes. So once you get over that hump, I would imagine be easy to overshoot, and then you wouldn't have a good day. So to do away with that, I just jacked up the rear. Took like 2 minutes. All right, so anyways, let's discuss the fasteners under here. So it's all of these fasteners that hold up the rear carbon fiber diffuser. Now those 6 that I was talking about earlier, those are right here. So on each side you have the very same fasteners. You have a M6 and then 2 M12s on each side. So if you're going to do the diffuser, might as well do those as well. But if you just want to do the diffuser for whatever reason and not those, then basically just subtract 4 M8s and then 2 M6s. But as far as taking these out, I'm going to remove the entire diffuser. I'm going to get all the rocks and crap that are probably above it, and then clean it, wash it on both sides, and then reinstall it. But if I was to just do the fasteners and not care about cleaning or getting the rocks from above it, I would simply replace them one by one. That would make life a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about kind of holding up the diffuser while you undo the last 2 bolts, because you can't just have it, you know, putting stress on one bolt. I don't know. I mean, you might break the diffuser, crack it, if you just let it kind of teeter on one last bolt. So you got to support it when you remove it. But like I said, if you just want to replace the bolts, do them one by one, so you don't even have to worry about that. It'll take 2 seconds. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of bolts there are hidden in here that I can replace, because like I said, I got to find like 10 pounds of fasteners to replace. I'm on like a titanium high, I guess. But anyways, let's get started, and I'll continue when this thing is removed. All right, as a tip for any of you guys that are wanting to remove the entire diffuser to clean it or get the debris and stuff off the top of it, I'll do it something like this. As you can see, I've removed everything other than basically the 2 bolts in the middle. So if I back out, you can, let me see if you can see that. So basically that bolt right there and that bolt, it's kind of in the center on the far sides of the diffuser. So you, with one hand, you can start backing them off, and then with one hand push up on the diffuser as you undo both of those, and then drop the diffuser. Now these I left alone just because I don't want there to be some sort of misalignment and then have to align 2 different kind of body pieces together. And same with the front. There's I believe 2 bolts in the front. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, 2 bolts in the front that are not holding up the diffuser. So I'm gonna remove and clean the diffuser and then bolt it back up and then swap those ones out. I don't want to have to kind of shift around, you know, like moving these pieces around. I'd rather them being fixed where they are, and then keep it from having to do multiple alignments and that kind of stuff. So that's my process. You can use it if you want, but I think I think it'll make life a little bit easier. One more thing, be sure to remove these 5 little plastic snap fasteners. You just pop them out with a flathead and then pull them out, and then should be good to go and drop the diffuser. Alright, got the diffuser out. As you can tell, there's kind of rocks and debris and stuff. Looks pretty nasty. I'm gonna wash it and then wipe it down with some 303. But as a FYI for those that are removing it, this back piece is kind of overlapped on this little bracket. Hold on, let me show you just this piece right here. So it kind of sits in on top of that, so the diffuser doesn't just drop perfectly down. You have to pull the thing back maybe an inch or two and then it drops. So just kind of as a tip, if it's not dropping, that's why. So let me clean it up a little bit and then we'll get back to it. What we have here is a freebie. 8 grams of debris and pebbles that were on top of the diffuser. That's like a free titanium bolt. Lost in weight. Oh no, it disappeared. But yeah, that's how weight weenie-ish I am. 8 grams. Alright, we washed everything. Washed it with some McGuire's kind of car wash stuff, and then detailed it with these 303 products, as well as the aluminum pieces. So that's why I took it off, because I wanted to kind of restore everything back to showroom. Since I'm kind of in that area anyways, might as well clean it up real nice. I mean, it just adds, 30 minutes worth of time, and you get the gratification of knowing that everything is spick and span. As another tip, if you're reinstalling the diffuser, you have this free floating bracket that's got like 4 bolts that go through it. But the thing is, it's free floating, so it could go wherever it wants. But what I found was just like a little wooden piece, for paint. You just stick it in that area and watch. Because it's not going to be aligned, so use something to stick through this hole where the exhaust comes in, and then you'll be able to feed your bolt through it. We have the diffuser mounted. It's just hand tight. So next up is torquing everything to spec. So the M8s are going to be 28 Newton meters, which amounts to 20.7 foot-pounds. The M6s are 9 Newton meters, so they give the measurement in inch pounds, which is 79, and that translates to 6.6 foot-pounds. So for the M6s, I'm just going to do 7 foot-pounds, and then 21 foot-pounds for the M8s. All right, so it's done. Looks way nicer. I did miscount on the number of bolts. The M8s, there's 20 of them, not 19. I thought 19 was a weird number. I counted 3 times over, still managed to miscount, so my apologies. So it's 20 M8s and 12 M6s. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll do another one soon for the front.